Hey everyone, happy Wax on Wednesdays. Today is the last week for taking it off the panel, and that's creating encaustic sculpture in a three-dimensional form. This can be done in so many different ways. Whenever I'm looking for the perfect candidate for a substrate for encaustic, when I'm taking it off the panel, whether working three-dimensionally or in paper, I'm always looking for an absorbent surface. So I like to play around and test out different things that I find that could possibly be a good candidate for an encaustic substrate. And in this case, we're working three-dimensionally this month, and I found these little seed starter pods. They are paper, they're like a paper mache. And these happen to be at the dollar store, an entire set of them, and they're the little small size, but I've seen the larger sizes at your local home improvement store. They come in all different sizes, and these are like a sort of a paper mache product. So I'm gonna see how absorbent these are, and I'm also going to just kind of let you see what evolves here. Necessarily want the end product to be able to be recognizable as a little seed cup here. So I'm going to sort of see what happens. A lot of times I will change it, cut it, change the shape of it. I just want a surface, a sturdy substrate that is absorbent to work with potentially. So we're going to see how this works, and I'm going to go ahead and start out by just sanding this really lightly. It's a paper mache type product, but it's not a straight paper mache, so I'm not quite sure what all are the components of these little seed starters. So just to open up the pores of that paper, I'm going to go ahead and take some sandpaper and just lightly So I just gave it a light sanding inside and out, just to sort of give it the best potential for opening up those pores for being absorbent when that wax is applied. So I'm going to take some encaustic medium and my heat gun. This is a paper-based product, so I'm not going to use a torch. I'm just going to be fusing every layer with my heat gun. I'm going to add, see what happens in the first layer, and hopefully I will be able to add at least 3 layers to this and see that it has a good potential for future projects with three-dimensional encaustic design. And I love exploring in this way. I've just melted some encaustic medium, ready-made RNF encaustic medium here. And I love exploring different substrates and seeing what will happen. And that is very absorbent. It's absorbing the wax. It's going right inside there. Use it. And you never know. You assume that paper products are all absorbent, but it's not always so. Sometimes they have an additive in them that makes them a little bit repellent to the wax when you're working both in paper and three-dimensionally. So you kind of have to just explore and test things out and try out their potential for success here when working with encaustic. I'm going to go ahead and leave that bottom for right now so that I can set it on my surface without it sticking to everything. And if I change the shape to this, I might go ahead and add wax to the bottom, but for right now I'm going to assume that this is the bottom of my piece and go ahead and leave it blank. And as it sets up there, I can see that the wax is absorbing nicely. Of course, it changed colors instantly. That's always a good sign that the wax is absorbing right into the paper. I can see also that a little bit of wax came through to the inside of the cup. Also a good sign that that encaustic is absorbing right through. That's an excellent sign of the potential for this little seed cup. So I'm going to go ahead and fuse this first layer with a heat gun and see if this won't bleed through right to the center, which is what I want, because I want a nice amount of absorbency for future projects here. So that first fusing was a complete success. The wax went right through the cup to the interior of the cup. And so it absorbs. This is a good sign that is very absorbent surface. It's still sturdy, it's still holding up. So I'm gonna go ahead now and know that I can add a couple more coats of encaustic and see if I can coat enough to begin to add some pigment to the outside and make it a true encaustic surface. Okay, this has 3 coats of encaustic medium on it. It took the medium very well. The inside, I never even coated it, just went through and absorbed through to the inside of the cup. So this is ready to be painted or add some pigment to. You can keep it this wonderful sort of natural organic color and just enhance it a little bit, or you can take it right back right to a white and then color it with oil paints and pigment sticks and pan pastels and things of that. Anything that you can color, anything that you can use to paint with encaustic, you can use on these 3-dimensional forms. So, and I'm going to give it one more layer of encaustic medium, and this time it's going to be a white. Okay, so I've added a couple of coats of white or sort of a cream encaustic medium, and you see that sets it a little bit more neutral, so I'm able to add some brighter colors to it now. I've fused both of those layers into the cup. So this has a total of 5 thin layers of encaustic medium all together, including the 2 coats, light coats of white. I love doing these little explorations. We now know that these little seed cups are a quality substrate for encaustic. It accepted the wax very well. It is probably one more little light coat of white, and you wouldn't be able to see the dark brown at all. If you wanted to add some brighter colors, there's so much potential in these little cups too, and of course they come in bigger sizes as well. So there's a lot of potential for 3-dimensional forms just using something simple and inexpensive like these little seed cups. So thanks for coming with me on this exploration. This is how I test out potential materials for encaustic painting 3-dimensionally. And when I find materials, if I think that they might have potential as 3-dimensional objects, the criteria is there for absorbency, then I will test them out just like this to see if they have what it takes to become an archival substrate for encaustic. So in this case it does, and I'm going to let you see what these sort of morph into, and I hope that you get lots of ideas from this. And if you are excited about working with encaustic 3-dimensionally, Encausticology, Wax and Symbolism, a study of encaustic sculpture workshop is available at any time, 24/7. You can jump in and get started on all of the projects where a huge host of different substrates, creating our own substrates, findings, and just taking it right off the panel into a whole lot of 3-dimensional encaustic fun. And you can get the link from that in the description box below this video, and you can see the whole line of encausticology workshops in all the encaustic forms on ShariReplogle.com, also in the link below this video. So thanks for joining me so much this week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Happy Wax on Wednesday.
Hopes for a clear